A brief note on today's episode. We were filled with technical difficulties, and at many points in the episode, nobody can hear Dez. And then at one point, only I can hear Dez. We decided to run this as a complete shitposting episode, true to the nature of the podcast. We start today's episode with Eugene's famous Mountain Dew rant. Enjoy.
Oh, y'all know I'm a pretty level-headed guy, and I like to keep a common sense here out in the truck, but whoo boy, something happened today that really got my Hemi revving. I'll tell you what. Let me tell you about that. So there I was in the morning, just scrolling through, and I log into my Oops, the OC, because I love me some the OC. Team Summer, something deserve you. What's up? Anyways, I get on there, trying to mind my own business, having my morning Mountain Dew, and what do I see but Mr. Casey McKenzie with his liberal communist agenda, putting it down my throat where I don't want it. And what is he saying today? He's got a big old meme with Lisa Simpson with a sign that says behind her, "Only Republicans drink Mountain Dew." Yeah. So, A, not only are we disrespecting Republicans, and B, we're also disrespecting the hard-working farmers of Mountain Dew that wake up every goddamn morning and climb up that mountain and try to find that lemon lime tree, shake out down a few cans, so the rest of us hard-working Americans can enjoy our breakfast cereal. But you didn't think about that, did you, Mr. McAnthony?
Eugene pauses here to drink from a Mountain Dew bottle.
Now, let me paint a picture of what kind of people these are in these groups. It's, these coastal elite types sitting in their ivory towers in Colorado, drinking Crystal Pepsi from their champagne flutes, not giving a hoot about what's going on in real America. Well, let me tell you something, mister. In real America, we like our code red, our avalanche was white, and we like our voltage a sort of bluish purple color. So, Mr. Casey Anthony, I'm gonna come and find you, and when I do, you're gonna wish you hired a babysitter. This is Vroom Vroom Beep Beep signing off. I'm a big boy now. Thank you.
Strong feelings, wise words from Eugene.
Free chili dog with admission ticket, allowing you to shit your entire goddamn ass right in the stands, in front of everyone. Fuck your family, fuck your friends, shit your ass out.
Welcome to the Mayne Podcast, the podcast that takes 6 grown men at least an hour to get started, and then there are only 4 of them. Sorry, Paul and Jonathan. Tonight I have with me the other tech-riddled person, Skyler. How's it going, man? How's your temp?
It is not good. It's way too hot in here. I'm going to try to carry on.
He whipped out the thermal paste just before this episode and applied it to his CPU. He's playing a little slappers only, and things got hot. I also have with me Josh Theiss. How you doing, buddy?
I'm fantastic.
And whose shirt is that again?
Oh, this is my girlfriend's mother's.
Okay. He's wearing his girlfriend's mother's shirt. It's quite fetching on him. We also have with us Dez again. Dez, what's going on?
Oh, not much, man. Trying to get this started.
And Dez is here on a Wi-Fi hotspot off his phone or some shit. So we've really just cobbled the pieces together tonight to get 4 of the regulars to show up. So maybe this episode wasn't meant to happen. We'll see if we get through it, and we'll see if Skyler has any more Terminator glitch outs. Last episode, I had to edit him out completely because when he glitched, it caused everything to basically crash. So tonight, we're hoping that doesn't happen. And we have a little icebreaker compliments of Skyler, so we're going to jump right into it. We want to know, what's your personal bandwagon that you keep coming back to that just doesn't catch on, it's not popular, but you just love it and you keep trying to revive it? I heard Skyler really likes piss jugs.
I've made several piss jug memes. Okay, I've made. They're normally some play on like pee or piss. Like the very first one that I made was pee and peel. They just both got like piss jugs like photoshopped on their heads. There was like Nancy Pelosi. There was a Pister like sister sister.
Oh my god.
Those are just a few off the top of my head, and I can't think of anybody like specifically joining in on like piss jugs on people's heads. But it's funny to me. It's hilarious. Probably more funny than it should be.
Yeah, I mean, we've all got those things that we kind of latch on to that are like, it tickles our funny bone only, and that is proven when you try to push them out there and they just don't catch on. Mine is the Gorton Fisherman. I went on a week-long posting spree where everything was like some variation of the Gorton Fisherman. Catch My Fish Up with the lead singer from Prodigy did quite well, so some people spoofed that meme, so I guess it kind of caught on. What about you, Theiss? What are your bandwagons you keep coming back to that suck?
Oh man, Flan, Fanbone, Faster. Those are my gems. They really are completely underrated. They need to go somewhere.
Yeah, those are like what he's talking about is like main shit posting bandwagons that never leave their home. You try them out other places. They just there are certain things you just kind of know inherently though. You're like, this is a shit posting bandwagon. This does not actually have wheels. It's sitting on cinder blocks, but we ride the fuck out of them in there. So Faster Island is one of my personal favorites. It's just the entire concept is that the Easter Island heads can go really fast. And that all started with Dave Lear from, I believe, Australia. He just edited motion onto a Faster Island guy. And that was it. And I was enthralled. I was like, let's make this a thing. I couldn't wait. I kept bugging him, and then I was like, I'm just going to start making these. Des, what about you? What's your favorite no wheels bandwagon?
Oh, man. I'm going hard on the fucking ska wagon.
Well, that one, I don't know if that fits though, right? Because everybody for a minute jumped on ska wagon.
Oh, shit, man. I'm not really too big into bandwagons, but that one really caught me, man. Because I'm the only one still doing it.
Yeah, you're definitely now in the territory of no legs bandwagon. You rode that one so hard the wheels fell off and you just stayed in the car.
Yep.
He's keeping the flame alive.
Right? Andre rubbed off on him somewhere.
What is it about the ska bandwagon that entices you?
Just ska music in general is so fucking funny, and just like I don't even remember what the first one I saw was, but like I lost my fucking shit, and I'm like, oh my god, there's so many opportunities for this.
Were you a ska head when you were younger?
Not really, man. I mean, I dig a little bit, like some Real Big Fish and some assorted jelly beans. That's about it.
When I was first friends with Theiss, I think it was his birthday, and so I went digging through his photos on Facebook to meme one of them back before we really memed each other all the time. And he had one where he's like in a kitchen wearing like the white apron. He's got this goony ass look on his face with his tongue out, and he looks like he's skanking. And so I put him into like a pick it up background, and like the rest is history. But yeah, ska's always got a soft spot in my heart. I definitely had a little bit of a ska phase in my life.
Yeah, I'm so far from like a ska person. Like I'm a straight like death metal, thrash metal kind of guy.
I saw you had a what was it, Obituary shirt on earlier.
Yeah, I've got so many metal tees. It's kind of ridiculous.
Good.
Can y'all hear me? Well, shit.
Yeah, this might be a scrap episode.
No, we'll just piece it together. Just a bunch of
I
started
will.
ghosts. Just never
You know,
get
it is
started.
kind of
ghosts.
fun to do that too, because like I had a couple spots in the last recording where I totally made it sound like Josh McHenry was telling Wes to come over and have sexy meme parties, and it was kind of unrelated, and that was kind of fun to splice it together. Well, I'm going to jump right into it. I don't know if we're getting Dez back. Hopefully, it doesn't bring down the fucking whole thing again. But speaking of bringing things down, recently Facebook went down entirely. That included Instagram and WhatsApp. And so for a short period, some people were kind of unplugged and they were like, holy shit, maybe I have a Facebook addiction. Maybe I have an Instagram addiction. Did you guys feel like you were checking your various web apps a little too much while the internet was down? I'm looking at you, Josh. This motherfucker started texting. He couldn't handle it.
I did.
Man.
No, yeah, I have an addiction to it. I'm not gonna lie. Fuck that though. It's awesome. It's a good addiction to have. There's plenty of worse things.
I mean, that's fine. We're all addicted to it. Clearly, we spend an inordinate amount of time making memes and shit and sharing stuff on Facebook. I was a little relieved for a minute. I was kind of like, maybe this is the part of social de-evolution where all the social media collapses. Like, I was kind of excited in a way, in like a sadistic sort of way. Skyler, you just swallow a frog?
You know, buddy. No, I was clearing my throat. Thank you.
We'll fix it in post.
Oh, God. We were talking about Facebook being down. I was definitely habitually checking my phone to see when it would be back up. And I did see posts after the fact where people were associating Facebook with their entire internet experience. Like, if Facebook is down, the internet is down.
Yeah, that's sort of how I feel, because that's really like, what else do you do? I might check my email once a day. I might check my bank once every other day, and that's about it, you know? And then I go on Facebook and maybe Instagram for a minute, but the bulk of my time's probably Facebook.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, just to kind of busy my mind, like, during that time, I was just like, you know, what do I normally even, like, look up on the internet besides shit for memes? And, you know, I started just, like, watching a bunch of, like, YouTube videos and stuff. But I kept on, just, like, out of habit. I would unlock my phone, I would put on Facebook, and I would see the same post at the top of my timeline. It escapes me right now. I really wish that I could remember it, because it was some really, like, off-the-wall shit.
Oh, I said that I broke the internet down. I broke down Facebook with Gruel. It was Lou Bega, but instead of Lou Bega, it was Stu Bega. And what else was the pun? There's Stu Bega, and then, Gumbo number 5.
Gumbo.
Yes, I know that one. I want to say it was a Ralston meme that was sitting at the top of my timeline.
Oh, you saw?
What's that?
Is that who you saw the whole time?
I'm pretty sure.
I checked it. I kept forgetting about it. It's natural habit. Like, I'm hitting it button every so often, and every time I open it up, fucking Adam Cook, just right there.
Oh, that's right. You made that meme. Every time I look, I see his face. So, yeah, there was Josh, like, I was surprised. He was the one that broke down first. I thought that maybe one of us would break down first and resort to, like, sending letters and smoke signals. But I think I didn't even know Facebook was down, and he was texting a group chat. I was like, oh, I guess things are happening. And then I noticed people were trying to get into their Twitters that they hadn't used in years.
I started one.
Bet, yes, people started one, so I bet Twitter had a major influx of new users. And then a little later, following all that, was one of our users created a a Reddit page for Mayne, and I had literally just last episode that I released just yesterday had gotten done saying we aren't a bunch of sexual deviants that meme a bunch of like rated X shit, and then now there's a Mayne on Reddit, so that's no longer true. I have to go back and redact half of that episode now, but I don't really feel any need to go to Reddit at this time, and I don't want an extra platform I have to check at this time.
Yes. It's bad enough with all these groups. I mean, and there's new ones popping up every day. It never ends.
And I mean, that's just the thing is like, I guess this is all good for branching out. Eventually, one of them will probably catch on, just as Facebook did and just as MySpace did before that. We talked about TikTok the other week. PC really loved that. I guess there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of hate for TikTok, but whatever. People are going to go somewhere eventually. So we were talking about, like, it was kind of interesting, the timing, though. There was all this outrage around Facebook. There was a whistleblower that came out and released tens of thousands of pages of internal research and documents indicating that the company was aware of various problems caused by its app, including Instagram's potential toxic effect on teen girls. They called on Congress to take action against the social media platform. The guy that was the whistleblower was quoted as saying, "I am here today because I believe that Facebook's products harm children, stoke division, and weaken our democracy." And I mean, that's a pretty big statement, but if you've ever been in the comments section of anything even slightly political, then you know exactly what they mean.
I don't think that it's entirely inaccurate, though.
No, it's not inaccurate at all. It might be a little bit grand in the statement it's making, but I think it's holding some truth for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's usually not the content being posted. Like you said, it's people in comment sections just get fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think we covered it before, too. Not only are the people nasty in comments where, that's where the harm is done, but then the platform itself, and I think more to what this guy may have been talking about, was that they don't actually do true moderation. You can report stuff, and that doesn't really do anything, and typically the only stuff that gets shut down is weird keywords that get caught. As we discussed, the That's Fine platform, that's their thought behind it, is trying to get away from the poor moderation of the platform itself. But I think ultimately the fact of the matter is, when you get people with a lot of free time in the comment section, it's an awful place.
Can we just start a Mayne book already?
That's fine is pretty much.
I mean, that's a great idea, but I can't get more than 500 people to follow this Facebook page for the podcast. So I don't know how well a Mayne book would do.
Maybe it's just for us. We're too good for the rest of the world.
Oh, man, here we go again.
So we can get the same 500 people in there also.
Stoke our egos. That's all the last episode was, by the way. I don't know if anybody listened. What was that, Josh?
So speaking of stroking egos, where's Paul?
Well, that whole last episode, Wes serves as a really good ego stroker. He loves talking up Mayne, and I mean, it's really sweet. We love what he does. He's all about Mayne. He's just a very, very nice guy. With these major problems with Facebook and all this nasty stuff coming out about it, the stocks went down too. Apparently, it was down 4.9%, which is like a big drop in stonk world. You know what stocks are up, though? Dogecoin is like one of those things that people talk about, but we have our own currency in Mayne. We actually have a couple of currencies in Mayne. Bench Weasel stocks are really high right now. Now, just if anybody needs a real-world dollar comparison of what a Bench Weasel is worth, it's worth 2 Bench Weasels to a bag of sugar babies. So
okay,
that's about the approximate value of Bench Weasel stock, which is pretty high. I mean, when you think about what a Dogecoin is worth, a Bench Weasel is worth a lot more, I think.
How about Oofcoin? How's that doing?
Oofcoin's like one of those, like, it's kind of like your Ethereum or your, some like long-standing currency. Yeah, it's more stable. Binge Weasel stock is a volatile new currency. It's a lot of fun. Everybody's along for the ride right now. We'll see how it holds on in the long run. We all really like Binge Weasel. Oof is a well-established meme trope, and the stonks are pretty even keeled, you know?
Just wait till Skycoin takes over.
Skycoin.
Skycoin.
Everybody's
in on
picking them
that.
up.
In Skank, I trust.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Note to self, get Binge Weasel gift to play on YouTube.
Yeah.
Those of you tuning in on YouTube, enjoy the animated video that's playing right now.
That's all that I tune in on. Honestly, fuck Spotify, fuck Anchor. Like, it's all about YouTube.
I like YouTube. I use that primarily, but I do use Spotify. Oh, thank you.
Pow, 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 pow.
I didn't mean to cut you off there.
And I can always insert them in post, but I choose not to.
That one's for you, PC.
Oh yeah. Speaking of YouTube, if anybody's got a spare account, hit Casey up. He really likes them.
Oh Christ, no! I'm not paying for YouTube. And then the last thing I'd do if I paid for YouTube was paid for YouTube for Casey. Go to YouTube. There's Casey.
It's Casey's profile.
Oh, that was fun. That was speaking of bandwagons, single person bandwagons. That was definitely my little single person bandwagon the other day. I just did a bunch of cutscenes from Futurama, just a scene where he's talking about Fry's talking about Amy. And he's like, sleep in bed with Amy all night and wake up and there's Amy. And I just replaced everything with Casey because he's been ever present lately.
I mean, what else can you do with a healing hip?
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. And I think now we talk about the injured Mayne members right now. Casey,
Oh, good God.
recovering from hip surgery. Jacob Salad Walter, recovering where they took a piece of his ear out and fixed his nose. Who else is recovering right now?
Zelenade. I guess his name is like Alex Dean or like Alex Eden or something.
Yeah.
He's got that fucked up leg.
Oh shit, fucked up leg.
Yeah, he fucking thrashed it riding around on a scooter.
And I know who else got hurt. Dez just used up 15 gigabytes of data in an hour because he is now offline.
Lies.
Well, you know, it was good. Good. What? Are you seriously still in here?
Yeah.
He's making little like bleeps and blips in here.
Oh, that's so weird. He's showing up as offline and he's still in here and talking. Well, we'll see if we get his recording.
The fucking air horn.
We got Ghost Dez.
Well, I mean, you know, when it says offline, I am inclined to believe the computer. But now that I hear you speaking, things are different.
Right, man.
He's still showing like in the room for me. Like he's got the green dot next to him and everything.
Yeah, I can see him as well.
Well, you know, this is appropriate. This is how this entire fucking episode went. At one point, we had like 7 people trying to join, and now we're down to like 4, and a person who doesn't show up is in here.
3.5.
3.5. Des, you're a half.
I'll take that.
Sorry, buddy. Just the way it is tonight.
I wonder if he can hear us.
I think he can.
There's a little blip there. Well, his camera's not working either. I would think there'd be at least something.
Des, give us the sign.
We told him to turn his camera off so he could conserve on his data. Des, here's the time for your monologue. Go, shoot. Everybody shut up, especially me.
Oh! Do you see that?
You kids today with your loud music and your damn Fogelberg, your Zima, hula hoops, and Pac-Man video games, don't you see? People today have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds.
I can't think of anything more. Can't put me on a spot like that, you fucking
I feel
assholes.
like we're on a fucking like Ghost Hunters or whatever, like listening for just like the faintest, smudgiest like audio out of these little headsets.
Oh, but later
that
in
we can
sound is the
interpret
full
for
sentence.
something.
Goes to the whole goddamn paragraph in 10 seconds.
We are officially off the rail. Oh, Christ. Josh is just still smoking his comically huge bowl. You don't normally smoke that thing like nonstop. I think you only do this to fuck with me on the podcast.
It's the only time I have time to.
This one's going right in the trash, boys.
Nah. Tell
Yeah,
you,
you can
director's cut.
put it in shitposting.
Zack Snyder edition.
I'm only posting this one directly into shit posting. If this is the podcast version of a shit post, is what's happening.
I've got like a mostly depleted Delta 8 pin here. I'm probably huffing on fucking wicks here, but you know.
Skyler's high on thermal paste.
I don't get high on my own supply, man. Remember, apparently that was a jizz syringe.
Oh, dear God. Yeah, I read that somewhere. Well, you know what? I covered all my topics. Bench weasel stock was really high. Because we segued from talking about the collapse of social media and like crippling internet addiction to bench weasel stock. So I think we pretty well rounded out this episode.
I'm literally
who brought
making
about
shit
bench
while
weasel?
listening to. Oh, who? What?
Who brought about bench weasel?
Someone bottomed
That's
them
an
out.
That's an Edward Honda original bandwagon.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a legendary figure in Maine. Actually, I might as well give him a shout out. He does want to be on an episode at some point.
He should be on one.
I would love to have him on. He was one of our. He was my very first meme friend. I met him, I believe, in Dr. Frankenstein or That's Fine, and we were Skeksis posting from Dark Crystal. And him and I were just going ham on Skeksis. And so to this day, he'll still throw out like Skeksis shout outs and memes occasionally. I think back then he was Mike Little. And then he came back for a brief period as Alex Tot. And then now he was J Honda, but that one got flagged as fake. So now he's J Honda's son, E Honda, from the Street Fighter series. And he is a traveling sumo wrestler business that you can do your bar mitzvahs, you can do your weddings, whatever you want, really. Edward Honda's traveling sumo will accommodate you. And he's just a prolific memer. He's been around Maine since pretty much the beginning, and he starts some of the weirdest bandwagons, and Bench Weasel is just one of his things that he popped out with. And every now and then he pops out with gold, and we all run with it. I love running with his bandwagons. They're always zany.
They're fun.
I love that picture of the weasel, or the reference of the weasel with like the tongue out, but I don't know like how to use it in context.
Nobody does. That's a Theiss portion. So that's when you get Theiss involved in a Edward Honda bandwagon. Like it gets very weird very quickly. Yeah, Theiss just started slapping the tongue out weasel as soon as he caught wind of this, and so that became a permanent element of it. So like in my animated GIF, play it over this section too if I can remember or figure out how to do that. You'll see as the bench weasel walks up to the register to purchase sugar babies, the cashier asks him what he'd like. He asks for the sugar babies. And when she tells him that it is 2 bench coin, that's when he switches to the tongue out face. He goes from being a normal law-abiding weasel to a bench weasel, and he tosses 2 bench coin directly at the cashier's head, and it doinks off her head. And she did not seem perturbed by it at all. She just rang him up and gave him his sugar babies.
What are sugar babies? I know it's a candy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that sugar babies or sugar daddies are just like long like pieces of caramel, like kind of like Tootsie Rolls, but caramel.
Yeah, it's just caramel on a stick, and then sugar babies are chocolate-covered caramel like nuggets. Josh, have you ever eaten a sugar daddy or a sugar baby?
No, I'm my mind does not picture them to those titles anymore. I've been ruined.
You are ruined, apparently. So you've never experienced the sheer wholesome joy of a sugar daddy or a sugar baby. And the sugar baby portion was totally unrelated. It was Edward Honda again just randomly was like I think he was just trying to get a separate bandwagon going of just saying sugar babies. And so I just made sure to incorporate that as an element into the bench weasel world. Oh, and Skyler lasted 27 whole minutes that time, so I will cut the recording at 26. And Dez dropped out a while ago, and it's just me and Josh Theiss
Powering
now.
on, just powering through.
Oh, and no, Des, don't try to come back in.
I didn't try, man.
It was Skyler. He covered him up the whole time.
Oh, it covered him up.
Yeah. Now that Skyler's gone, he's back.
Thanks, Skyler.
Des, do you want an outro monologue? Because I keep forgetting you're in here.
Yeah. Not really. This is a fucking disaster. That's all I gotta say.
Oh yeah, this is.
I definitely
really good
want to push for our Mayne motion pictures if you guys are checking it out. And you like making GIFs, or you don't like making GIFs, and you want to try, Mayne Academy will tell you how, and then you just go there and fuck around and see what happens.
That sounds really fun.
I want to see some more GIFs.
I'm intrigued, Josh. Tell me more.
I don't know much more. They just renamed it. Oh, Mayne Meme Academy, if you want to learn how to make GIFs, there's probably a couple videos on there. If not, one of our assholes will probably put one up, probably. After you do that, just go to, it was Mayne GIFs, now it's Mayne Moving Pictures. And just try. Who was it that made the fucking Trident movie? It was you, Skyler, you son of a bitch. This is your fault.
This is a fucking disaster. That's all I gotta say.
Say, actually, we're running kind of long here.
We're running kind of long here.
Oh, fuck you. That's not what I sound like. Fuck